welcome to the Woman Unleashed online retreat. My name is Amber Quile Malami Benici. I am your host today. Oh, so happy to have you here. If this is your first time at the retreat, we are all about you slowing down during this time, really aligning with what's most important to you, nurturing yourself, and having a lot of fun too. That's really important. So welcome, sister. So glad that you're here. Today's session, we are going to be doing some art. Yay! Before we go there, a couple things. One, for today's session, you have a supply list right below here. Okay, so you can go ahead and click on that. That pops up your supply list. Now, I want to say, if you look at that supply list and you're like, okay, I don't have these things, don't even worry about it. Just work with whatever you've got. Tamara is amazing. She's going to show you all sorts of different ways to, she's going to show you what she does. But the awesome thing about creativity is there is no real right way to do it. You get to kind of play a bit. So lucky ducky you. Hi, Tamara. Let's wave and say hi.
Hello, everyone. Hi. I never know when I pop up or not, you know, like with the Google Hangouts, it's always a bit different. But hello, here I am.
Yes, I know. It is different. It's all good, though. Let's go ahead and make sure that you also have your Unleashed journal, because you're going to be doing some kind of inquiry before you dive into your art process. Mm-hmm. And then let's go ahead and get really present like we do every time we're here. So go ahead, close your eyes with me. Get yourself settled. And if there's anything that is weighing on you that's come before this point that you're thinking about or thinking you should have done differently, or that's just kind of pulling your energy back to the past, I want you to take a deep breath in and let that go. And then next, if there's anything towards the future that you're worried about, something could be even during this session or later today, what you have coming up the next week or months, things that are pulling you away from being present right here. Let's take a deep breath in and let that go. And lastly, we're going to take a deep breath in and smell the moment, gather any remaining pieces. And when you're ready, opening your eyes and getting ready for our session. Yay! So today we are working on manifesting your dreams. Who wants that? Yay! And we're doing it art style. So I want to introduce you to our session guide today. If you don't know her, now you do. She's amazing. Tamara Laporte with Willowing. She's a celebrated mixed media artist, and she's an art teacher who's been running her own creative business since 2008. She's online. Her work is described as mixed media folk art. It's super cute if you've seen any of her stuff. It's amazing. I love Tamara and her magical realism world that she lives in. She really believes that art is a path. It really is for self-healing, for personal growth. And so all of her work isn't just about art, but it's about like that internal movement, the things that we can do for ourselves. She's got art classes that she's been leading for a long time, a huge tribe that maybe you're a part of. You might have come here through Tam's tribe of 33,000 beautiful people around the planet. She's got a course called Life Book where she brings different teachers together. And this year I'm teaching, whoop, whoop, Life Book, where we do mixed media and we do art journaling, yeah? So Tamara, welcome.
I'm so glad to be back.
You know, when Tam and I were first talking about her session and what to do this time, when she told me what she wanted to do, I was like, yes, I was so excited. Like for me, I could tell part of my connection with spirit is when I get like chicken skin, like goosebumps all over me. And so when Tam was telling me about what we were going to do, I was like, yes, I love it. And you know, if you've known in the years past, we've done vision boardings before with collage, but we are taking it to a whole new level this year, and Tam's going to be our fearless leader. So Tam, you want to share just a little bit about kind of what we're doing?
Yes. So we were talking, and I thought I've done this actually twice already this year, and I love creating you can call them dream boards, but they are not the typical dream boards. So I'm going to show you the one, actually I can show you 2 examples, but this is one of them that I made this year. And it's actually really stayed with me. I didn't even want to sell it or do anything with it other than keeping it for myself, because it was so meaningful to myself. And so this might not look like the very typical what is sort of more known as the common or traditional dream board where you're doing a lot of collaging. What I like is when I do collage, I get a bit stuck and I'm like, I want to put in some paint over here and I want to make it even more creative. And I find that when I put all that creative energy into it, for me it's even more meaningful, and I'm hoping that it also helps with manifesting. So the other thing, so what I want us to do is
before we go there, Tam, can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
I can already hear women right now thinking like, oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. I don't know how to do a face. Like, right. I can't do this. So
right. So the good thing about, and the easy thing about this is that we're not actually going to draw or paint. Well, we're going to paint a little bit on it, but the this face is actually a photo of me. Actually, it was probably this photo. I'm not sure if it was that photo. I took that out. But basically, this was an acrylics transfer of a picture of my own face. And then I drew and painted on over it, which makes a massive difference to if you're a little bit afraid of drawing, or if you're thinking, I'm not sure how to make this. Starting with a face of, it doesn't, by the way, have to be your face if you're feeling like, I don't want to use that face, by the way. But we're starting off basically with an image that is already there. It's like a paint over collage or a paint over acrylics transfer. You can do either. If the acrylics transfer doesn't work, if you don't have the gel medium, you can simply collage down a photo of yourself or of a person that is meant to represent you, or even an object. It doesn't, or an animal, or it doesn't have to be a face. But what I wanted to do was have something that represents you in the middle of the page, and then surrounding it, we're going to create art, but also include words and images. Like here, I have this little house. When I was creating this, I was in the process of buying this house that I'm in now. So I can say that the manifestation worked, because at that point we didn't live here yet. Now we are.
You have the cutest little house. It looks like a little like Hobbit house or something. It's so gosh darn cute. Yeah,
it's like we've got the fairy tale, exactly that fairy tale house. And so, yeah, so it may look. It may look more intimidating than it is, because you're going to start with images effectively. So we can start with collage, like you do with another, like an actual dream board or vision board, but we're going to go over it with fun art materials and additional collaging. These are sort of die cuts and pretty things that I found, but you don't have to use those. You can find your own. Yes, and so the other thing I wanted to add in here is that I like to, in my dream board or vision board, I like to include affirmations. And I do that because affirmations, or, depending on who you kind of follow, but let's say the people that are like Louise Hay and Caroline Myss, I'm not sure if you're familiar with them. Louise Hay does a lot of affirming and affirmation work, doesn't she, in her books? And the difference between sort of stating things in the future and in the now. So though you might not, let's say you're wanting to buy a house, though you might not have your house yet, if you're saying, I own this house, rather than one day I maybe will own this house, according to, let's say, people like Louise Hay, it's much more powerful and more likely to manifest if you say it in the now. And some people are like, but that feels a bit weird, because I'm not in India. If let's say you want to take a trip to India or whatever. But I like doing it because it's like you're manifest by saying it is happening now. You're helping the universe manifest it more easily or quickly than if you said one day I will, or in the future I am going to. So for my dream board, I like to include affirmation. So in this one I had, okay, I'm always working on myself, personal development and growth. So I radically accept the wholeness and fullness of me. So I'm stating it as an I am thing, rather than at one point in my life, I will accept myself. I'm stating it as if it's now, even though I'm not fully accepting myself now. I'm stating it as if it's now. So I'm just adding that in. You don't have to do that, but that was a key difference for me about how I went about creating these dream boards. I have another one here that I did. Same with, again, it was my face. This one was same story. Just a picture of my face, and then adding the sort of kindness. What is it? Kindness surrounds me. So might not be true, but I'm making it true by telling it that it will be true.
Yes, I love it. So
own it. Yeah.
Tell me, so for women who are about to, we're about to go into your studio and start this with you.
Yeah.
Before they come with their art supplies, what do you want to have had them have done already as far as with
Sure.
affirmations?
Thank you for asking. I would have forgotten that. So if you can sit down and have a little think about what it is that you want to call into your life in the new year. So we're about to go embark, into 2017. So what it is that you're wanting more of, what you really wanted to manifest, and what calls your heart, like the thing that you're so desperately really wanting to make real. And just write them down. And when you're writing them down, try to think of some affirmations with that. So again, you may want to, an example, do a trip to somewhere, just state it as if it's happening rather than I will maybe one day. And then you could print these affirmations or the words or anything that you think will help you help support the universe or yourself manifested in your life. Doesn't have to be that, it could be different words. I don't know. Let's say if you're traveling, it could be airplane or something, or an image of an airplane or something along those
Or
lines.
freedom!
Or freedom, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It could be anything, right? So you could even do a mind map, if you had one thing that you're really focusing on, and then you just, doing the lines out and just write anything related to it, and then you'll find a word or a sentence or a quote or something that really resonates with you. That's a good sign. You want that one. When you're going, oh yeah. So those words and images, think beforehand before you start this process. And you could, so these words, I have printed them out. So I like using fonts that I like, but you could also just write them. So it doesn't have to be a printed thing. So it's all optional. And like Amber said before as well, art supply wise, you can take this whichever way you want to take it. It doesn't have to be, if you don't, I use fairly specific supplies at times, like I might use a Tombow marker. You don't have to use that specific marker. It could be anything that you have lying around.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So are we ready to jump in? Ready to hang out in your studio?
I am.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. So we're going to start on our dream board, and I have laid out a couple of things that you're going to need to start with. So you're going to know, you want a photo of yourself or a photo of something that represents yourself. Doesn't have to be a photo of you if you find that problematic. I don't want a photo of yourself. I will be working with a photo of myself. And if you're going to do an acrylics transfer, then you want to make sure that you print out the photo in a way that it. Okay, so if you want, let me explain. So if you want it to face you this way, then you need to actually print it out in the reverse way. So you need to flip it in Photoshop or some sort of software so that you get the flipped out version, because when I paste this one down, which will go down that way, it will actually come out looking that way. You see what I mean? But if you're going to do a paint over collage, so if you're going to basically glue your face down, you're going to paint over it, which is a similar but different way, then you just need to print it out normally. So I hope that makes sense. So I just printed out two different faces. You can do them with your eyes open or your eyes closed. I like the eyes closed idea because it's dream board and sort of almost like you're inwardly manifesting things. So I'm probably going to go with eyes closed. And then I've sat with myself just for a little bit beforehand, and I have printed out and been sort of musing on and meditating on what it is that I want to call forth in the next year. And so I've written up a list of things that sprung to mind, and I'll read a couple out to you. So I want to focus on my health, both all body, mind and soul, and emotional health. I want to call more surrendering and allowing in, less resistance and more being able to go with the flow. I'm looking to restore and strengthen a certain part of me that need healing. I want more peace, love and community in my life. I want more connection, growth. I want to run retreats at the house here. So I want to give more. I want to do more gratitude exercises. I want to nurture and enhance friendships and family and community and that kind of thing. From a more practical goal, I want to visit New York. So I want to create and manifest more time to paint. And in the long term, I want to convert our barn here. So the other thing, I've got more, integrating parts, clarity, have clarity. And then, oh yeah, the other thing I've done is, so I've done some things that are just words on their own. And then I've also done affirmations. So I've said, I have clarity, I understand what is needed, I belong, I surrender to what is. So here I'm saying surrendering and allowing. And here I say it as in an I statement that we discussed before. So I'm mixing up how I'm wording the things that I'm wanting. I'm a beautiful expression of the universe. I love that one. And then I printed the same list out in different sized fonts. So a couple I have in tiny font, and then medium font and large font, which I recommend you do as well, because then you can play with font sizes and where you glue them down. I haven't printed out any images. You can do. If so, for instance, the conversion of the barn, I could include an image of the barn, but I like to, I tend to draw those later on. I tend to, if there's any imagery, like maybe I might, if I want to visit New York, I may draw, or I could include an image of the Statue of Liberty, but I kind of like to vaguely draw them rather than include images. But this is all optional, so you can collage the images in as well. The way I like to do the dream boards is by the collage I do use. So the collage papers is the photo of myself. And by the way, if you're going to do a acrylics transfer, you need to print it onto copier paper, not laser print, but normal home copier paper in color or something. So those kind of papers, and then that's for the acrylics transfer only, as in what you need to print it out on. And then the printout of the word, and then the rest of the collage materials I use tend to just be decorative. So decorative and background. So these kind of collage background papers are going to be part of the layering process for me. So I have book pages. I usually have in music scores, or I have like old pieces of brown yellowed paper, and then I like using die cuts as decorations. But these do not necessarily represent anything that I'm trying to manifest or dream about. You could though. So if you're interested in bringing images in of, let's say, the Statue of Liberty or the Taj Mahal in India or the converted barn or a new car that you want to buy or something along those lines, you can do. And I like to draw and paint these kind of elements if I do. And I don't tend to put a huge amount of images in that sense in either. I tend to use more words for myself. But this is very optional and personal on how you like to do it. So go ahead and do what speaks to you, and totally follow your bliss and your heart when it comes to what you're wanting to bring in. There is never anything I teach has never got any musts or the only way to do this is the Tam way. No. No, that's not how it is. So you can do whatever you want with regards to creating, and you can just use my offering here as an inspirational thing or a bouncing off thing, or you can follow it exactly as I do. That's also fine. All up to you, my friend. The only thing I'll just talk on, the rest is going to be time-lapse because we don't have that much time. But so most of it will be time-lapse with subtitles. But before I go ahead and do that, I wanted to tell you that for acrylics transfers in particular, you're going to need this type of gel medium, golden gel medium, soft. It's fine if it's heavy-bodied. The matte or the gloss doesn't matter so much. But this is the type of gel medium that will work well doing an acrylics transfer. So if you have other gel medium or matte medium, be careful because it might not always specifically work. This is the best one for the best result, because acrylics transfer is sometimes a little bit of a hit and miss, and can frustrate some people sometimes. So get a good soft gel medium. And again, if you don't have any soft gel medium, you want to forego the acrylics transfer, that's no problem. You just glue your photo down this way with gel medium or something else. So then matte medium, it doesn't matter what you then use, but don't use Mod Podge or just a glue stick. You want to have something that is fairly sturdy that will keep your collage pieces in place. Okay, all right, so the rest of this process will be time-lapsed with subtitles. I look forward to your dream boards, and if you loved learning with me today, I love to hang out with you in my other places, online places, and maybe I'll see you on Livebook 2017 next year. You can find out more about me and everything that I do on www.willowing.org. Okay guys, thank you so much.
Aloha, ladies. Welcome back. I really hope that you enjoyed that time in studio with Tam, and we cannot wait to see your creation. So below, you're going to find the link to the Woman Unleashed Facebook circle. So we would love to see what your dream board is. What are you creating? What are you manifesting? What are you calling into 2017? Declare it so we can just really be there to witness you and what you're calling for this next year.
Awesome.
Now, Tam has something special for you if you want to continue kind of creating and you're like, oh, this is like amazing. Oh my gosh, I want more. Tam, what can they do?
Okay, so I have available a free Lifebook lesson, a taster lesson from Lifebook this year, 2016. It's called The Happy Traveler, and in it, I show you how you create a sort of a whimsical girl with, in my case, two supporting animals, an owl and an elephant. And the animals represent like a guide or protectors for the year. And so, yeah, you guys are welcome to have a go at this lesson. And if you like it, that gives you good indication of what Lifebook is, or a lot of the types of lessons you get on Lifebook. So have a good time there.
Yes. So you can click the link below. It says free Lifebook taster. So you can grab that right there, and it's there for you. Yeah. All right. Tam, thank you again so much for this. This has been wonderful. I can't wait to see all of your creations out there. And until next time, ahui ho.